G'day everyone, Lauren Kress, the business scientist here, and welcome to my second episode of the cheat sheets. Today we're going to be looking at how to use the editing features on YouTube's latest sort of editing offer. I went in the other day and realized they've actually changed it again, and there's some new features and some features that have been discontinued. So we're going to just do a really quick walkthrough. If you're wondering, what is the cheat sheets? What is it about? Should I subscribe to this channel maybe? The answer is yes, especially if you run a business or you're creative and you're looking for quick tricks, templates, tools, cheat sheets on how to do things in a more easy and productive way. So how to edit videos on YouTube is a really popular question. There's not actually a lot of content out there on this. So let's jump right into it, and I hope you find this helpful. Okay, so first thing you want to do if you're over on youtube.com is you want to open your YouTube studio. So you click your little profile button up here, and we're going to head on over to YouTube's Creator Studio. Now, there's a few different ways you can get to the editing part of the content you want to edit. I like to go over to my content and then find the video, especially if it's a recent video. You can also search across your channel. So I'll just take you to one that I recently edited and show you what else we could do. So let's click on details over here. That's going to take me to the back end of that video, essentially, to edit. We want to come down to editor, which is the third one down on the left here. Okay, and then you can see it gives me a bunch of options here. So one thing to really keep in mind is if you've got any end screens on here, so I went and edited this the other day. If you've got an end screen on and you want to edit the end of the video, the first thing you want to do before you go into trim and cut is actually go and remove that. It's very easy to add back in at the end. If you're not sure on what you had on your end screen, you can always go and write that down. So just quickly to show you on another video with the end screen, see here, we can see the end screen, this little symbol here. We've got a bunch of things on here. What I'm saying is before you cut it, just go ahead and remove that so that you don't have problems if you're going to cut the end of this video and bump the end screen forward. Now, let's say I deleted this. It will see how it said there. You might have noticed it said, if you put an end screen on, there's rules around it. Just keep on deleting. And then once there's no end screen, you won't have that issue anymore. Now, what it won't let you do is it won't let you go back. Now that you've made changes, it won't let you go back until you save or discard. That's, again, one of the limits with the YouTube editor is you have to make this choice. Once you do something, you either have to completely discard what you've done or you have to save it. Then we're going to come over to trim and cut. That's probably the main thing you're interested in. You can also do things like add audio and you can blur things on there. But you can see here, because I've gone and edited this, it's saying this video can't be blurred because it was previously trimmed. So if you go and cut it and then you think I want to blur it, it's very self-explanatory to do, but it's more about the order you do things in. So delete end screen first, add blur in next. You can add audio and trim and cut. So let's go into trim and cut. So you can see this is one of the new features. Now they have this kind of like thing that you can just drag and drop. And I think this is because a lot more people are doing live streams, and maybe also because of the new feature where you can actually add a cut into YouTube to promote. So if you were just say trim, you had a live stream and you wanted to trim the beginning of it, you can just simply drag and drop it and save it. And you're kind of done. So you just go in, you'll find exactly where it is. You can see at the bottom here, it will preview where you are. So you can kind of go, oh, I think it's roughly here. And then you can zoom in on the side here and you can fine tune it more. I find following the audio is really, really helpful to actually know where the break is for a good clean cut. Okay, so we're not going to do that because it'll take forever to drag it back. We'll go back out and we'll drag. Same thing with the end. You can also trim backwards from there. Now, if you've got an info card, let's just check if I trim there. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you've got an info card. That's fine. It's just the end screen. So say you're like, well, I actually want to chop somewhere in the middle. So what you can do instead is you can add a new cut, but you actually have to select where you want to add it first. So see here now, my cursor's here. I've found the spot. Now let's say I'm like, oh, I think it's around there. We can still add the new cut and we can drag and drop it later. It's a little bit, one of the things I'm finding with this editing tool is it's not perfect, right? So it's really good for if you've got a video up, you've got thousands of views, and then you're kind of like, oh, I just need to take out this little bit. What we want to do then is use this. But otherwise, if you're wanting really fine-tuned proper editing, you're better off using a video software. I use Premiere Pro, which is a little bit more expensive, but I find it just does everything I need. Okay, so then let's say we're kind of like, okay, I'm happy here, like following the audio here, but you want to check it's right. What you can do is you can preview it. So you just select preview, and then what it's going to do is it's going to start from the beginning of the video and play it through to here. Now, if we're 2 minutes into a cut, we don't really want to watch the whole thing. So just bring your cursor here, hit play.
It's going to work for us.
And then it will show you
your future log, which I'll also explain a little bit more about.
It'll show you how it jumps. So obviously I don't want to actually cut this, so I'm going to cancel. If you are happy with that, you would just press tick. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that. And then say you're like, oh no, I don't actually want that, or I need to go in and change it. You can go back in and edit it, or you can delete it. If you've got multiple spots in your video that you want to add new cuts to, you just simply do that again. So you do that a few different times. That's sort of the basics of the YouTube editing function. Just keep in mind, if you go back without saving, then you're going to lose your cuts as well. So yeah, limited but useful if you're repurposing content. And yeah, just remember this thing about the blur as well. Let's go ahead and have a quick look at audio to add essentially music clips onto your video that is copyright free, right? So you're allowed to use it. I don't really like this because I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't. But let me show you how it works. So if we press add, I think I always worry about what it's going to do to monetization, even though apparently it will work. That's because when I've used it on shorts before, it said I can't monetize the video. So maybe check that out too. Okay, so what we can do here, we can mix the level. So we could say we want it to not be so loud. So let's try what it sounds like at the moment. So that like completely overrides my voice. Let's see if we can adjust the mix level. Let's take it all the way down. And let's try that.
Something that's quite unique to Future. So we have.
So you can barely hear my voice in that. So yeah, it's kind of more like, say you had something in there that you're like, oh, I actually don't want to say this, or there's a bit of a weird sound here and you want to kind of cover it up, or maybe use music that you weren't supposed to, you could override it with this music. Now, you can actually go into these three dots here and also find out more about the license. So here it says you can use this audio track in any of your videos, including videos that you monetize, no attribution required. So that's what you want to kind of check if you're monetizing like me, because sometimes I've used audio music from YouTube and then I've been not happy with it because it's made me not allowed to monetize. Now, let's say we want to add in a second track. We can also do this. This is one of the new features on the latest YouTube video editor. Because before you couldn't actually do that. So, and then you can take this and you can move it around, right? So just keep in mind, one thing I was just discovering as I was doing this was that if you're zoomed in and this music is pushed all the way to the end, it's hard to move it and see exactly where you're going. So you probably want to zoom out first, place it, and then fine tune it with that zoom in function. I'm going to go ahead and remove that because I don't want to add that audio. But they're the main sort of features that have been added. And then just the final thing to let you know is if once you do a trim and cut and you're happy with everything and you save it, what it used to allow you to do, what the YouTube editor used to allow you to do is save as a new video. It doesn't allow you to do that anymore, which is quite frustrating because you could have a long version and then like a shorter version of different videos. So that was quite a nice way to really quickly repurpose content. It doesn't allow you to do that anymore, which is a little bit annoying. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please feel free to drop a comment and say hello, tell me what you thought. Let me know what else you'd like help with, especially if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a business owner, and you're trying to figure stuff out and you need a cheat sheet on how to do something. That's what we're all about here. So please do let me know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to find out more about me, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll put a link in the end screen, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers.